Hey there! In this video, we'll create a quick and simple to-do web application using the ABP Framework. For this video, we'll be using Blazor WebAssembly as the UI framework and Entity Framework Core as the database provider. This is how it's gonna look. So we have a simple to-do list right here, and we can type, for example, buy some milk, water the plants, for example. And we could also say, drink some water. Stay hydrated, everybody. We could also delete. And we could also get the list, of course. So let's get started. So I'm going to open up a terminal. And the first thing I'll do is, of course, install the ABP CLI, but I already have it installed. So just install the ABP CLI first. And then I'm going to get to the directory of my projects. And then I'm going to go to the directory of my projects. And I'm going to create a new folder. I'll name it the same as our solution, to-do app. And I'm going to go to it. And then I'm just going to copy this command from here to create the solution. Now that our solution is created, we can get to the solution folder. Let's open it. And here's our domain-driven design solution. Let's run the DB migrator to create the database and seed the initial data. It's always better to run the solution and just check it before we do anything. Now let's run our HTTP API host. Right here, we can see all our endpoints. We can manipulate them and test them and everything, but I'm not going to do that. Let's just run our Blazor project. And here's our project. Let's log in. We have the administration part right here. We have identity management for both users and roles. And we also have tenant management, where if you want to add a new tenant, where it's going to have another identity management and everything, or we could just use these right here. And we also have our project settings. Let's start running the solution and get to work. So the first step is the domain layer. This application has a single entity, and we'll start by creating it. Let's create a new to-do item class inside the to-do app.domain project. And I'm just going to paste the code right here. It'll inherit from basic aggregate root, and GUID is the primary key. Next step is database integration. We're going to map the configuration, so we're going to copy this line from here, and we're going to take it to the to-do app DB context of the Entity Framework Core. Let's go to Entity Framework Core, and we're going to go to the folder right here, and we can find it right here, the DB context, and we can put the DB set properties right here. Next up, we're going to copy the mapping code that's in the onModelCreating method, and we're going to paste it in the same class, just right here. Now it's time to code our first migration. I'm going to copy this one, and I'll go to Entity Framework Core. I'm going to open a CMD right here, and I'm just going to paste the line. Let's also update the database. The next step is the application service. An application service is used to perform the use cases of the application. And we need to perform the following use cases. We need to get the list of these to-do items. We need to create a new to-do item. And we also need to delete an existing to-do item, right? So the first thing is the application service interface. We're going to create a new interface that's called iToDo App Service in the To-Do App Application Contracts project. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go to the application contracts, and I'm going to create a new interface right here. iToDo App Service. And I'm just going to paste it right here. Now these two methods, getListAsync and createAsync, will be returning a to-do item DTO. So let's create this class right here. To-do item DTO. And I'm going to copy the class from here. It's a very simple DTO class that matches our to-do item entity, and now we're ready to implement the interface, the iToDo app service. Let's implement the application service. I'm going to copy this after creating a to-do app service class inside the to-do app application project. Here's our application project. To-do app service, a new class. And right here, I'm going to paste all the code. Now, this class inherits from the application service class, which is provided by the ABP Framework. And it'll help us implement the use cases that we've described before. Let's implement the interface. I'm going to copy the first method, the getListAsync, and I'm going to paste it right here. Then I'm going to copy the next method, the creating a new to-do item, and I'm going to paste it right here. And I'm going to copy the last one, which is deleting a to-do item, and I'm going to paste it right here. Now, ABP provides default generic repositories, and we've used one right here. We've injected the iRepository, which is the default repository for the to-do item entity. And then, after injecting it, we've used its methods right here. We've used the getListAsync from here. It's coming directly from it. We've also used the insertAsync. And we've also used the deleteAsync. These are all standard repository methods to deal with the database. Now, since the app service is ready to be used from the UI, we can start with the user interface layer. I'm going to start by copying the index.razor.cs, and I'm going to paste it right here. This class uses the iToDo app service to perform operations for the to-do items, and it manipulates the to-do items list after the create and delete operations. And this way, we don't need to refresh the whole to-do list from the server every time we create and delete a new to-do item. Next up is the Razor page. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it right here. And finally, the CSS page. And by that, we can run the application again. And as you can see right here, we have our to-do list application. We can type in, buy some milk, stay hydrated, and maybe clean the balcony, or whatever. So we can create, we can get the list, and we can also delete. And that is how to create a to-do list web application with Blazor WebAssembly and Entity Framework Core. See you next time.